little inky blots, and welcome back to my channel after another very long break in between videos. My name is Erin, and this is my art channel. So just a few quick notes before I start in on the topic of this video, which, oh man, I have so much to talk to you guys about. I have missed you guys so much, but I will keep this short because, you know, I can blither on forever. And I'm sorry if you can hear my fan running in the background. It's quite hot, and heat is my mortal enemy, so the only way to combat that enemy is a fan. Which I wish it was an air conditioner, but oh well, it's something, right? Right. So I've had, you know, a lot of health issues, and I've been seeing doctors and, you know, getting tests done to figure out, you know, what's wrong and to get my health back up to what it was and my energy back up to what it was, because, you know, I've been sleeping a lot, and it's kind of nice to actually be fully awake and energized for once. It's been rough. I don't like sleeping so much. And for those of you who follow me on Twitter, you'll also know, I think I've mentioned this on Instagram, I'm not sure, but I think I have, but I have went through a very bad creative block, and this one was tough. It was very tough to break this one. So I haven't gone through a creative block like that in quite some time. So I'm just glad, you know, that it's leaving, it's packing up its lazy bums and leaving me, and just like, so I can get back to the creativity that I had, so which is great. And it's really frustrating when you're going through a creative block and you're trying to, you know, to draw and just like nothing good is coming out, but you keep doing it anyways until you pitch your sketchbook across the room, you know, and it's just like, why isn't this working? But I'm glad that part's over. So yeah, it's now that, you know, I am feeling a bit better, my creative block gone, and I'm feeling much more motivated to create again, and which is a great feeling. And one project I'm very excited to get back into is my short story manga, you know, which happened, you know, I've been working at, and off and on, so I'm glad to be going full steam at that. And it also happens to be the topic of this story time, as you can see from the title, if you clicked on it. If you have, thank you. I am working on a page of my one-shot manga, as you see here in this video that you're currently watching. You know, that I'm finally getting a full chance to work on, and this is one of the opening pages, and it's done with pencils, some reductive drawing techniques, and some Ibis Paint digital screen tones, which I find are really fun to use. Like, I have traditional screen tones in my art closet that I haven't used in a long time, but the digital ones are great because you can take off and remove without anything really sticky or too damaging. So anyways, with that being said, I'm not going to go on. Let's get into the main topic of today's video, which is kind of a story time, maybe a little bit of wisdom for other artists or younger artists that have gone through or haven't yet gone through what I'm about to talk about here. And that is dealing with broken dreams or unfulfilled dreams that you will experience, you know. And I know for myself personally, this aspect has, you know, it's taken a long time in working through and accepting and seeing that it was actually, you know, it has actually made me a stronger artist, stronger person, and to grow that strength. And by moving beyond, you know, a specific mindset of doing just one specific style of art and thinking that's the only thing, you know, that will make me happy, is doing that one type, and not even trying anything else or challenging myself to, you know, go further or try something new, or, you know, only one type of art career. I mean, there's several type of art careers out there, but when you're so fixated on one point, it sort of blots out anything else, and you don't really grow and grasp different concepts that will actually make you stronger. So, I will cut this to when I was about 18, because I've always wanted to do comic book work and graphic novel work since I was about 10 years old, when I was introduced to comics through the Ninja Turtles and Batman, and I became obsessed, and I had huge stacks of Batman comics when I was younger, and that's a whole journey in itself. But I'm gonna cut this to when I was 18. So about 18 to 20 is when I really started trying to get somewhere with my art, and deciding that this is what I actually want to do. This is gonna make me so happy. I just nothing else will do. I'm gonna get a crap job, I don't care what it is, but I will eventually make it as an artist, was my mindset back then. And back when I was 18, I had a very good friend of mine had opened my eyes to the anime and manga world, which was I had no idea was out there. And it was just wow, and it's just it totally shook up my whole world enough to change it. So he had this janky bootleg copy of the Vampire Hunter D movie, and I instantly wanted more of this stuff. What is this? Show me more, right? I was just an addict the first time around. Oh my gosh, I need more of this in my life. Where has this been my whole life? It was amazing. And I always drawn, and most of my young life. But in my preteen years, I sort of dropped the drawing. I was kind of frustrated with it, and didn't think I was any good at it. So I did more work on writing scripts, writing short stories, I wrote one of my first novels when I was 17, I believe. And my art skills were quite rough, because I hadn't drawn since I was 13, and I desperately wanted to draw fan art of some of the anime I was watching at the time, and I wanted to make some of my own original characters as well. And my childhood dream of making comics was still the same, but now it was just slightly different. And I began to practice drawing once again. So I got, I didn't have much money back then, as I was living on my own at that time. So I had some colored pencil crayons and some printer paper, and that's what I started practicing with. And I would draw anywhere, just anywhere I could sit down, or get hands on any art materials, I would be drawing. And so fast forward to about 7 years later, and I am a full-on Fujoshi weeb. Yes, I will admit to that. Okay, I'm proud of a weeb. My art, it had improved somewhat, and I thought, at that time, because I was so proud of the work I was doing, I thought it was so good. And I decided to pitch my very first English language manga to one of the first few publishers out there in the early 2000s at that time, and that was Tokyo Pop. This, I guess I said, was in the early 2000s, so they were at the height of the English language manga publishing era at that time. So they were top tier amongst I think there was Viz and Dell, I think, and stuff like that. And I followed closely along, with their art contests, especially the one called the Rising Stars of Manga, where you could, also win a chance at getting your story published with them. And that was my biggest dream ever, my ultimate goal. And I was so excited about it. I could envision everything that would happen by submitting to them, go far and everything like that. And I to have any of my works out there in print, and it was, the thought was enthralling. And then, with Tokyo Pop, it was actually easier to try out with them first. If you were an unknown artist, an unknown creator, you were new at that time, they were a much easier route to get into. And I'd already written a script for a pretty ambitious 7-volume manga series, which I still have the scripts for. Like, wow. Looking back on it, like, what was I thinking? This is the first time around, and it's just like, I should have started short, but, overexcitement, does that, and that's a good thing. It's a very good thing to be that excited, because then you push yourself, right? Right. And so, I thought I had a pretty good grasp on what they wanted to see in the submission package. So I poured through everything, and I went about it drawing the manuscript pages. So fast forward a couple months later, and I sent my package off, all super excited, just like couldn't sleep, couldn't really do much, until I heard back from them. So then a few months later, I get an email back, and it was a rejection, but a very nice and encouraging rejection letter. Very, very, they were very supportive and stuff like that. And so it kept me encouraged, kept me wanting to try. And so I took their advice that they gave me in their letter, and I worked on improving my drawing skills, my screen toning skills, my inking skills, and my writing skills. And I tried again the following year. And again, the following year, a couple months into it, I think it was around summer, I got another really nice rejection letter from them. Which was, that's when I started to feel a bit of a pinch of like, this is gonna be hard. It's not gonna be easy to pull myself through this. And I'm gonna have to wade through rejection letters before I actually find someone that will take me. And so from there, I started to branch out and submit to other companies that I researched and looked into, and tailored all my submission packages to their, what they specified, which I thought was, again, still okay, but I was still very green at this point and didn't really know what I was doing, so there was probably some unprofessional stuff in there that I probably didn't catch. And I was still very determined at this point, still thinking this was the only thing that would ever make me happy in life without, again, even trying anything else. And after another 2 years of submitting to places with either never hearing back or having a form rejection letter, I kind of lost all hope. I lost complete hope. And it was this point, I had joined DeviantArt, and I met some amazing artists on there, comic, manga, illustrators, and they gave me some wonderful advice about growing and trying new things to improve, to expand my knowledge beyond just doing manga and comic book work, but to actually, as a way of improving, to actually try drawing semi-realism, which would actually help. It actually does help in drawing cartoonist figures, so when you know the actual form, you can actually make a cartoonish figure if you know the actual human form, and it makes drawing a heck of a lot easier. And after losing hope and sort of falling into a bit of despair, not knowing where I was going to go with my art from there, and looking deep within myself and into my work and seeing, trying to see through other people's eyes what my work really looked like, and that I wasn't quite professional yet at all, and looking at real professional artists that worked within the field and, had experience in seeing what they did and what companies really do want. I so much wanted to be a part of that. And from there, I gave up on my dream. I let it go. My everything that I wanted, everything that I thought would make me happy. And, yes, it was hard. Yes, I was very heartbroken. Yes, it took quite a while to accept and move on. In the end, though, it was one of the best choices to make in my artist journey, was to give up on my dreams. And from there, I started studying realism. I looked at form and movement and color, art styles, composition, writing, you know, and, finding a lot of other things I found interesting and fun about art, and worked on those and tried those things out and continued to grow and work upon. And I put the idea of comics completely on a far back distant burner while I, lived an artist's journey and lived life and went through it. And I worked hard at other passions and gained more confidence in myself and what I can do. And you know what? You know what happened with all this? This journey has led me right back to my original dream. Only now have I the right set of skills, the right set of confidence, and know how to go after it, how to put the image in my head properly on the paper, and I once again want to try and make this dream a reality with these new set of skills. Even if it just exists online and not in print. That's the beauty of the internet now. Your story can have a life, and people can see it and read it and like it. And my life experience advice is that sometimes giving up on your dreams will lead you to new places you never knew that you might love or want to be, or bring you happiness, or will give you a new skill set to return to your dream, at another point in time on your journey. And if you get to live your dream, that is truly, truly a blessed gift, and that is an amazing thing to be able to experience. So no matter what you do, or what you want to do, or what you're pursuing, keep going, keep trying, and never ever give up on yourself. Dreams will come and go, and your dreams will change as you grow and change yourself. And you can always discover new things, new dreams, and keep trying with those and keep pursuing those. So with that being said, I hoped this wasn't too preachy. I just wanted to give some of my life experience, and I hoped you guys liked listening to this story time, and that it wasn't too long-winded or boring. It's just something new I wanted to try. Like, I've been watching other art channels and how they do story times, or they talk about certain issues, and I find those interesting. So I wanted to try something new here. Instead of always just talking about the artwork that I'm doing, is to actually read something interesting to you guys. So you guys want to hear more story times like this? Is there topics that you'd like to hear that I could talk about for you in the next video? So now that I am back somewhat, I will try to keep on schedule as much as I can. So I may not be able to do a video every week, maybe every 2 weeks or so, but I hope you'll stick with me and join me in this, and I hope you like this. Thank you so much for spending your time with me and listening to me ramble on today and watch me doodle away here. And I will see you in the next video. Bye bye!